So 414 on the 29th. Man, I swear to God, at night it is crazy. And I always look forward to going to sleep. It's like, where am I going tonight? And it's so crazy. And the worst part is though, getting woke up out of it. Is like, oh my God, I swear to God, it kicks my ass every time. So, anyways, now she's snoring. But I really don't know what I'm going to be talking about. So, I'm trying to fix this. I feel like it's all wonky. Oh my gosh, and my throat and my nose and all this stuff. It's like, oh my God. I finished the shed last night though, or yesterday. Thank God. Oh my God. I cannot believe. But she did have to call a couple of neighbor boys over to help with the roof. I'm sitting there struggling and struggling because just tell you ahead of time, if you're ever trying to put something together and you're trying to have somebody who's over 80 help you, you're not going to get a lot of help, I'll tell you that. She did sweep a lot. She's mostly sweeping out. Okay, so but this whole shed thing had like these puzzle pieces. Like you had to pull them down and scoot them, and had to lock them in. And the roof, oh my God, I could not. There was nothing to hold on to. I was like, it was heavy as fuck. My arms were just like, oh, I had been doing so much of this for so many days that it was like, oh gosh. And so I'm trying to pull it and push it, and it was like, there's no fucking way. We got to have a couple more people. There's no way. And so she called these neighbor boys, and they came over. And these two big old boys, they just walked over there and just go, pull, just locked it right in immediately. I was like, oh my God, you guys just saved me hours. So, and then they put the doors on too. So I got all the things, all the hardware, everything on the doors, everything on, and then I had to screw all of the roof in, so I was still having to go up there, all this stuff once they got it on there, but it was like, oh my God, that saved hours. There's no way, there was just no way I could have gotten it up there, because she couldn't pull it, there was just me, and I did not have that kind of strength to be able to do that. So anyways, it's all done now. So it's like something completed. And then I was like, oh gosh, she's going to try and get me to hurry and finish the fence before I leave. But she did ask them, would you guys finish my fence for me? So anyways, I don't think I'm going to have to do that, because this week, today I'm going to go to it's senior discount at the thrift store that we like. So I'm going to go up there and look for a couple of things. I found a bike rack for only 40 bucks at Harbor Freight, which is like, I don't know if it's national, but it's, over here, it's like, if you want to go get tools or something, they're not like Snap-on tools, they're a cheaper brand of tools, but all this stuff is cheaper. But in the reviews, it said that the bike thing worked good, and I'm only moving one bike. Not like I have to put two bikes. It holds 100 pounds, which I'm sure my bike's not 100 pounds. The only thing is I watched a video of the guy putting it together, because I'm still going to look at the thrift store. I'm still picturing it at the thrift store. I watched the video and saw all the parts and stuff. So if I see one, I'll know if all the parts are there. But so he put his bikes on, and he drove 45 miles to a place, went and rode his bikes, and then drove 45 miles back. Fuck, man, I swear to God. I don't know that I don't know. I mean, my body's morphing this sickness. It just came in, or whatever, toxin, whatever it is. It's like fuckery. That's what it is. But the bikes he put on were boy bikes, and mine doesn't have that bar across. Mine's a girl bike. So I'm gonna have to ask him at the bike thing too, or at the Harbor Freight, how to put out a girl bike on there, because it goes, woo, doesn't just go like that, where you just slide it on and you lock it on. So, I don't know. I'll have to see. But it says that it's in low stock. Sometimes when they sell those things out, they're not going to get it back for the rest of the season. I was looking at it next year, so I was like, well, I better go get it today. So that's coming out of my fence money. But I don't know for sure. You know, I may end up having a bunch of dogs to wash this. Because I've got 4 days left before my trip to washing dogs. So I've got Tuesday, Thursday. And then Friday I'm getting the trailer, loading it. And then Saturday I'm taking off to go get it. Or to take it. Which I'm just really hoping I can fit a lot of stuff in. But I'm going to try and take my bed, my table. I'm going to try and take a few things that... and then while I'm there waiting to go meet up with, for Ruthie, I'm going to get that set up. So when I come back, I have a bed there that's waiting. And then, and also a place to, because they have a fold-out table, which I'm going to take that fold-out table and put my table. And they have another fold-out table I'm going to take and put something else there that is a place where I can, like a little work surface. It's a little higher. But anyways, so those days I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff because I got to move all their stuff out of the apartment and put my stuff into the apartment. So then, and then I go get the fence and get that there. And so it just seems so hectic. It seems like, you know, like I go over and over. But then as soon as I get back, then I'm going to have like a day or two to rest. The dogs are going to be freaking the whole time because I'm going to have been gone. And then I'm going to go get the truck and go load it and then take off from that one. Which, that means I'm going to have to drive that truck up here. I'll just have to move my mom's car or something. My car won't be here to be at the truck place. But then, if my daughter's going to drive my car, I got to go down and get it. Jeez, it's just so, man. And, there's just so much driving and so much, like, moving this, moving that, and that's what goes through my mind. And that's why I try and tell myself, like, so I'll be like trying to figure it out. Okay, so well, if I go there and I go there and then I go back over there, then I go there, then I go there, and I'll be trying to like figure it out. And that's where I got to keep on thinking, it's gonna work out the way it works out. There's a way that it's already planned, and I'm trying to figure out all these different moves, but there's a move that's already gonna be made, and I just have to relax and let the moves show. Stop trying to overthink what moves I'm going to make and just let the moves happen. It seems like, you know. And today, I mean, could go up to the store and, you know, cards may not work or something because it's a Monday and they always say it will crash on the weekend. So that's what I'm always looking for on a Monday is like, so is it going to crash? I mean, we're right at the end of the month. And I think it's the 30th is the end because next month is the 31st. I don't think it's the 31st and then the 31st. I didn't look at the calendar, but I'm pretty sure that the September ends on the 30th. So it would be tomorrow, which I saw this other guy doing a video. The first video, I don't know if it was the first one I saw this morning, but it was right at the very first. And it was this guy, and he said, I told you guys October was going to be it. I told you guys last year. And so then he starts going through this explanation because I've never seen him. I don't know what he says or whatever. A lot of times I go and listen to see like how, what some people are saying, how it coordinates with what I'm saying. So, hold on. Let me finish this and I'll tell you what he said. So he said, oh, wipe off my mustache. It's like this green algae mustache. Because, you know, I can't see all that stuff. But the other day I had the mirror up close and I was like, oh my gosh, I have this mustache of tea powder. Okay, so he said that he was saying a lot of the same stuff as me. Like what the focus is, why all this is happening and stuff like that. He said that the slow is, or the the split is going to become really apparent in October. That the royals are going to go down. It's going to cause a lot of chaos and stuff. There's going to be some certain places, like you said, the UK is going to be really chaotic, which I don't know if we're seeing fake news reports or what, but it is insane over there. Like they are sitting there telling them that they are restricting their travel. They are forcing, the scan. And so the digital, I think they call it, with when it comes to an ID, which my mom tried to go get hers the other day. This is so wacky. Yeah, so she didn't change her name after she got married. So it's a different name from her birth certificate. And she's been divorced for 25 years or something. But to go get an ID now. So she's out driver's license this whole time. And now, she can't pass the driving test or anything because she can't see. So she just wants the it's the same price. The one that in America we have to get the real one. It's the real one. It's so absurd. That's the real one. It's so fucking absurd. God, I swear to God, I just have us jumping through hoops all the motherfucking time. I just saw a guy who was doing a video comparing the Great Depression to now. We are beyond the Great Depression. Like it's ridiculous. The ratio and numbers of where we're at financially and where they were at. It's absurd. So but that's, they just slowly push us going uphill, and it's like a snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger, and we just keep going and going and going and going. And at this point, it is going to start to fall back on us. And that's why the universe is like stepping in with this dramatic energy to shift things. So the snowball goes down the other side, the flip. So it's like you have to see the other side. You go on one side, you have to see the other side. So all right, now I've got 3 videos going. Okay, so the depression, yep, check. Okay, that guy, I'm not finished. The people pushing the snowball. Wait a minute. So, where am I? So oh yeah. So the ID. So she, it's just so ridiculous because she's had a driver's license this whole time. And see, this is what I started saying a couple of months ago, because she kept telling me that I needed to go file for my number 2, the one I raised the kids with, when I was married to the longest. I needed to go file for his Social Security because now he's on Social Security, and for some reason they give spouses a certain part of, they don't give theirs to us, but they give you an amount that they have, they add it onto yours. So it increases yours when they go on Social Security. But you have to go in and do all this paperwork and stuff. And so I was like, I got to go in and show my marriage license, my divorce papers. I got to show all this bullshit. And when I was trying to look up about the marriage license in California, which I don't even remember which county it was, and I asked my daughter to ask him, and he doesn't remember which county it was. It's like, I swear to God, this is leaning. And so I was like, this is so fucking bullshit. But then the one county that I was trying to look, I think I was looking in Orange County, but see, it could be Long Beach. I'm just not sure. And it said that you have to be there. You have to go down there. You have to go to the thing. You have to pay them, and you have to get it. You can't, they're not just sending it to you in the mail, even though there's businesses on there that say they will, that you can, and that I don't know how they do it, but they charge twice as much money, and you have to get it to your papers. So I don't know. I think it's like a scam or something. But anyways, I was like, it's just bullshit. So I gotta go California to get these, and then I gotta go do all this legwork to try and find this old marriage certificate when they have a database that they can just go look this shit up. I said, it's absurd that, we're just constantly jumping through hoops. When they have this motherfucking fucking database. They're the goddamn government. They can look up anything about us. Are you fucking kidding me? And so I've been on that rant. And she's always like, well, you gotta go do that. Gotta go do that. And I'm like, it's fucking absurd, man. And I keep on saying, I think things are going to change anyways. I don't think I need to stress out about it. That is supposed to go up anyways. And plus, different things can happen, you know. I have a lot of videos on here that they've been holding back. Like, if they have to start paying for, all these videos and stuff, that's gonna be a sweet deal right there. So I don't know how things are gonna work, but I feel positive about it. And I can't sit here and just whine and cry about their hoops and focus on it and stuff like that. And I have this stupid deadline too, because June of the 26th, my long-term disability ends. It's so absurd. So, anyways, they pay it until you are going to retire anyway. So, and they figure you're retiring at 65, so you don't get your disability anymore. So, anyways, so anyways, I'd been ranting and raving about how ridiculous it is. And so she goes to go get this ID, and they want her marriage and her divorce papers. And so she comes back, she goes, now I gotta get another appointment. They want these papers, and she has to try and get some from Oklahoma. And so I was like, see, it's fucking absurd. It's so ridiculous. And they have a fucking database. They can just look this shit up. But they want us to go run around, get these papers. It's got to be one with the seal and all this shit. It's like, you can't have copies. You got to have these, all this legal government papers that they can look in their fucking database and look right there and see themselves. It's like, what in the holy hell kind of absurd bullshit? It just is so aggravating. And so, anyways, she got a taste of that after I'd been bitching about it. And, but, so this guy in this video, so he said that next week, so starting this week, so October, it was when it was really going to split. Like, we're going to really see the 3D fall apart. It's, not going to be able to keep itself together anymore. And and so many more people are seeing the error of the ways of, that how people are being tricked because they don't look into things, they don't listen to people they don't agree with, they don't, just research into stuff and go look and see what's true and what's not true. They just believe these talking heads on media. That's like Kimmel. I mean, he's one of those. All of those people that sit there and act like they know something, and they're just talking shit, and they don't know shit. They're paid to mislead you, just like these other people on another level of influencers are being paid to mislead you, and they don't know shit. So, but the people who want to believe a certain crowd that focus on what they say, and they're all on the same script, so they believe it. It's like, you can't just believe this shit. You have to listen to the other side. You have to go in and look for yourself and see it's nonsense and bullshit. Which, there's a weird thing I just heard this morning that I haven't looked at, but all this nonsense with the real, and like here, we're not allowed to say anything. We're not allowed to talk shit on them. We're not allowed to talk about what's going on at the Strip. Nobody's allowed to talk about any of this stuff. And now, supposedly, Donald has said if any state that does that they're going to pull all the funding for disaster funding or something. Which, he's not in support of evil. He's not in support of censorship. He's not in support of all that stuff. So I would say it's to draw attention to it. It's to get us to see the loopholes and to see the bullshit and the bureaucracy. So, and it's all a show. It's not like, the stuff is going to happen. Even if he pulls funding, it's all corrupted funding. It's like, it's all part of the laundry problem. So it's not real, you know. What will be real is when they turn it back over to gold, and then we have real substance that we are basing our economy on, not just this nonsense that they can inflate and take us from where people were fucking starving during the Depression, and now it's like 10 times worse. It's like, it's so absurd. And they just inflate, inflate, inflate. Like I said, we're just pushing this snowball up. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we just, you know, that's their thing between the different generations, because it's not the same ones. So they don't realize that the snowball's gotten so much bigger. And they just do what they're told and then focus on, well, I got to get a better education. More indoctrination will do it for me. I got to get more papers to hang on my wall. I got to work harder, work more jobs. Like one guy, I saw him yesterday, and he was talking about in his state, which I think maybe Minnesota or something. He said the average, mid-average income supposedly is $56,000, and so he was looking at this supervisor job at a place. I think it was like a gas station or a food place or something, supervisor job. And he said, you have to take all the responsibility of everything. And I was only paying $18 an hour, which then when he was adding it up, it was so far away from 56,000. He's like, how is that average? When, you know, you have all these workers out here who are making well below average. Like, how are they coming up with these numbers? I think they just spout out numbers. It's like they don't want everybody to know that how many people are living in cars, how many people are not making it, how many people are on the dole, you know. It's like they don't want everybody to know. So they just come up with some fucking, oh, the average. They may go over here, you know, and then they run the numbers somehow by adding up how much you would need to be able to pay your house and all that stuff. I just saw this realtor who was showing a house. It was out by where I'm moving to. It was a fabulous house. Oh my God. It was fucking fantastic, this house. And he said, this is what $250,000 gets you here in like Star, Idaho or something like that. And I don't remember what the name of the city was, but it was one of those little towns. And oh my God, this house was fantabulous. And in the comments, everybody's like, oh, bullshit, maybe $250,000 down. That's got to be $1 million house. And all of the comments were like, no fucking way, no fucking way, there's no way. And I was like, I mean, people expect to be paying like almost $1 million for houses like that. And, but that's what it's been everywhere for so long. Like people, as I'm telling you, I know that's what's going to really get people pissed, is because there's all these people who saved up and saved up and saved up and got all this money to put down on these expensive ass houses, and they're going to lose all that. It's going to seem like they lose it because their house is going to go way down. And, but they're also, you know, when it comes down to it, that's all they paid for their house. And even though houses are going to go cheaper than that, because I don't think houses are going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't even think they're going to be over 100. If they say they're going to go back to the prices of the 60s, people were buying houses for cash between $6,000 and $12,000. Some people would even go borrow it from their parents. But yeah, houses used to be $6,000. And in the video that the guy was talking about the Depression, he was like, cars were like $600, and now they're like $50,000. That rent used to be like $217 for a year. Now it's like $24,000. And it's funny too, because I watch old movies all the time, you know, and you do see like these people that go in to rent a room or whatever, and they'll be like, okay, well, that's going to be $10. I think sometimes it's like $10 a week or something. Would that be like, so that would be like $40 for the month. So it would be like, yeah, $520 for the whole year. So, or would it be It's not 50. Oh, 52 weeks. Yeah, 52 times 10. So $510, right? I don't know. $520, 500. Yeah, $520. But maybe they say $10 for the month. Could be they say $10 for the month. And it will be like, I don't know. A lot of these movies, if the people just travel around or something, because some of these where they will go to like a hotel, but they're going to stay there for a long while. And the hotels are like apartments. They aren't like what we consider hotel rooms. It's what we consider to be apartments. And they're going in and renting them. And it was like $10, which I can't remember if it's a month or a week. But it makes more sense if it's a month, because in the thing it said it's $216 or something for a year of your rent. But yeah, I've seen that in old movies, and it's just like, it is crazy in the amount of that people pay for cars now. And then like I just saw somebody do a video that had just bought a new car, and it needs a new transmission, and they've had it for like a year. Because all the stuff that they make, because I think it was clear, like we could see it, but then I heard it, I think it was in nursing school, when they said something about, like, they could make things that lasted forever. Like, they could make a fridge that lasted forever. They could make tires that last forever. But then they need you to go buy more. They can't just have us all buy one and be good. So they have to have them wear out. And just another guy talking about, you know, he replaced all of the appliances in his house and got all of the super saver ones that they tell us that we have to get to reduce our bills. And it did nothing to his bills. His bills are the same. I saw the same thing at mine. And then, as a matter of fact, when I refused their little meter that they call smart, and I said that I didn't want that on my house, put back my old one, suddenly my heater stopped working, my stove stopped working, and my dryer stopped heating up all the same day. And everybody I would try and say, and people would try and work it out, like, well, this probably needs this probably needs this. I was like, no, they're not giving it enough power. They've cut my power down. They're not giving me enough to do these things. And that's when I went and bought, you know, my first little mini oven, which I was like, now I've had a mini oven. Because you can even, you know, you can't cook a turkey in it. But if you really want to cook a turkey, you can also cook a turkey on the grill. You can also cook a turkey in the frying thing. There's a roaster things you can get. Like, we seriously do not need these giant ovens that they're all keep trying to tell us that we need. The refrigerators, I don't know. I think refrigerators are handy because we do, you can put a lot of stuff in them and keep it fresh. But I think we're going to see the, you know, the other side of that too. Because a lot of people are going to have a lot of stuff in their fridge when the power goes out, because we still think that the power grid's going to go down, because it's going to show the people a lot. It's going to show who's in control too. So anyways, we got to just see how things play out. But so this guy was saying that October is going to be the 3D dilapidation. And he said, you know, this whole world's about to end, but it's not like it's something you need to fear. We came here for this. It's like the same stuff I was saying. And he said that, and I think I saw another couple of videos. I saw a lot this morning talking about the architecture and the nonsense behind the stuff with the state fair and all the stuff they told us about the architecture and stuff, and that they've gone in and destroyed all of this stuff to try and keep their story alive or to give their story substance. But, you know, I mean, as soon as you start waking up and questioning things, like, their story's ridiculous. Everything that they have told us is ridiculous. I just can't even believe, because I swear to God, when I was in elementary school and they were telling us, like, you go to school, you know, and they start telling you that you're on this round planet and we are out spinning around. It's full of water and we're out spinning around and we're flying through space and we can't find anybody else out there. And we're just flying through space on this planet spinning. The water's not flying off, and you don't even feel it when you're upside down. And so I asked the teacher, I said, well, why is it we don't feel like we're upside down? And I don't even remember what she said. I just remember questioning. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. But then they just, tell you whatever nonsense and just shut you up. But then I started pointing it out to people all the time that the moon was out. We'd be out playing and I'd say, look, the moon's right there. How could the moon be here if it's over China right now? I would constantly, and nobody would pay any attention. And the other day my mom said, I used to notice the moon was out all the time during the daytime. And I said, me too. I just tell people all the time. And I said, doesn't make any sense, does it? Like, the people in Australia are missing the moon. It's like, because I bet you we go look it up. We go look up lives over people that are showing the moon over Australia, and it's right out here. So how does that work? On the other side of it, like, well, what is going on here? So if we're all under different, like, movie screens or something, I don't know. But they have all this stuff going, because there's another guy, I saw his video, and he said about the generals, and he said, because what was it? Sometimes I see these videos and they start crossing over each other, because he was saying that the generals, that's like something that hadn't happened before. They've got all this stuff going, which was the same stuff I was saying. Is they got the Atlas, oh, we got this coming in as it's coming in for battle. That's what they're warning us on. It's coming into, they're saying it over the radio now. Well, we've never been able to make contact, but now they've made contact, and now they're telling us they're coming after us. And so they are going to, this TV is distracting me. It's got, it must be some kind of seance or something. I'm going to have to watch it. It's got Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, and Peter Lorre. God, I love Peter Lorre. So it's got a bunch of good ones. This morning when I got up, I was like, God, I really want to watch one of those movies. And so I had to go through a whole bunch, but now I want to see this one. And then I've got a lot that I'm still going to go do today, because I got to go get ready, then drive into town, then go to the thrift store, which that can take quite a while when you start going through things and stuff. Then probably stopping at the bike rack, then come back, and then, I don't know, just like the day just flies sometimes. And then tomorrow I got to go do that, and it seems like it's only a few hours, but it cuts right into the chunk of your day. And then I'll have the day off, then another big chunk day. And then this weekend I will have, this will be my last weekend here. Every weekend after will be in Idaho, so this will be my last one here. So I maybe go see my daughter on one of the days. But anyways, gosh, it's getting hot in here. I shut the garage door and stuff. But some of the days it's so fucking cold. Fuck, dude. It is like becoming winter quick. And that's the thing too, that I was like glad that I was kind of speeding up the getting this stuff, because I got to drive through the mountains, and I don't want to suddenly be like, oh, here's an early winter snowstorm. It's like, I don't need that bullshit. And usually it's right around Halloween when shit goes hell, and then it starts turning like, oh, winter's here. So and it should be done mostly the week before. So anyways, we'll see, because I'm still trying to wheel and deal on that stuff. I'm U-Haul, change this, get this trailer, put this. It's like, oh God, I'm driving myself crazy. My daughter's like, oh my God, you really ruminate on this. It's like, yeah, I know, I do. I just keep on trying to organize the whole thing. It's like, it's kind of overwhelming. Like, oh my God, it seems like a lot. It's one thing if you just like pack up your stuff and call up a mover and say, move my stuff from here to there, and then you just go meet them over there. But when you are the one who's you're trying to save money, and you're taking this truck over at this time, you're taking a trailer now, you're going there, you're going, and all this driving and all the gas, which I don't even know how much gas it's going to take to pull the trailer or any of that stuff. So anyways, it's just a lot. But so the guy who was saying about, well, we've never seen this about the general, he was saying something too. Oh, there's a whole thing now going around too. in conspiracy land that Charlie has always been a hologram. He's not even a real person, or he's been an actor, and he has been hired to create a character. Which I was like, I don't know, I wonder how many people are there that they just create a character and that they aren't even real. And there's still more weird shit on this whole thing with Erica, and I don't even know. Everything is to like bring certain things to the surface so we start seeing things in a different way. And everything to show us things in a different way is to get us to wake up to our truth, to get us to see this is just a big show. This isn't real. This isn't real life. Our real life is when we're not here. This is like, you know, you have a kid who just sits and plays video games all day long and they get lost in the video games, and you go in and try and tell them, get up and live real life. It's like we are all absorbed in this game so much, we've forgotten who we are. And that is why everything is happening, to help us remember who we are. And I saw another video where the guy goes, that's the thing, is when you go through your awakening and stuff and you start remembering, and then you start remembering things, and then it's like, oh, then none of this is real. It's like, yeah, none of it's real. It's all, you know, it's like you're stuck in a game. You've been stuck and you can't remember where you are. And so this is why the universe is kind of stepping in to remind you, but it's got to be really like kind of ugly, because we were so in the dark and we allowed so much, like this snowball pushing it up and pushing it up, where it's seems like, you know, if we don't all hold on, it's going to fall down and roll over us. But it's going to, but it's like it's got to have that moment in time where it seems like all is lost, and then all of a sudden all is saved. It's just weird though, because there's so much in certain communities that say like it's the split, it's the end, and all that stuff. But there's so much stuff that still hasn't happened. Like Donald's saying we're gonna have med beds, even though it was like this AI looking Fox, not an article, a segment, news segment, and then they have like a interview with him. And he says, you know, each person's going to get a card, and we're going to have the best doctors, and everybody's going to be able to go to these facilities. See why we don't need insurance. We don't need all this medical, all this stuff that people are so, you know, ruminating, consumed with. But things are going to get way better. But see, it's like, how do all the pieces fit in? How do some of the things get way better? Like the financial, but some things get way worse. So that's the thing, is like, because it's still, to me, it still seems like there's going to be some things that are going to get better. Like our medical, it seems like to me that the split just continues to become more apparent. The split in our reality. But it keeps making itself. Okay, so, you know, like you get a split in your clothes. So say, you know, you have this little split in your pants and you didn't realize it, and you're out and you feel this little hole, and it's like, oh, there's a hole there. And but every time you move, the split gets a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And then all of a sudden you bend over and it just splits. So it's kind of like that's what's kind of going on. A lot of people kind of feel like, oh, there's a little hole there. And it kind of freaks a lot of people out. Like they get really freaked, but it's because they keep believing that this is real life. And this is all they got. And they believe the programming and indoctrination about what life is. Which when you remember, when you tune into yourself, when you go inside yourself, then you remember it different than what they tell you. And so then you know that somebody's lying here, because what you know on the inside, you feel it to your core. And when you hear what they say, it doesn't align. It just doesn't feel right. And the evidence shows that there's holes in everything they say. So it shows that they're lying about everything. So anyways, but the split is just going to become more and more apparent. It's kind of like the more movement, the bigger the split gets. And so that's the part where we're at. So the split, it kind of just is to show there's a problem. So but it kind of, it's you, it's each individual, how they align to the split. Like how you look at the split is, well, how you look at the split to me is also a part of your program. You don't have a choice but to look at the split the way you were intended to look at the split, which it could be that you need to look at it deeper, and that's your lessons, you know, that you need to look at things deeper and stuff. But everything has to do with what you're here to learn, what you're here to experience. So everybody's going to be having different experiences because we're not all the same being. We're like, all of us are a part of something, but we are all individuals. And that's why this whole thing about finding our individuality is important too. Finding your sovereignty, figuring out who you are, what your authentic part of you is, what makes you unique, what makes you stand out from everybody else. Then that is you. But we have, like, there's a lot going on because people are lost away from themselves. And then plus so many people are lost in the dark. And that's a whole nother level of having to pull yourself out of the dark. Because the dark is all consuming. Like I said yesterday, it's like this tar, this goo that is holding you, and it just reaches up and just keeps holding and pulling you back. And you have to pull yourself free. And it's difficult. It's like pulling yourself out of quicksand. And you have to be so real with yourself. You have to really use the light to be able to pull yourself out of the dark. And in the light, you see sides of yourself that you don't like to see. so, so it's important though for you to look at yourself, because that's where you find your truth. That's where you find you. Even though not everybody's going to do it, because not everybody's here for the exact same thing. But I can speak on that part because that is what I understand. And so the seeing yourself and being real and finding yourself and healing yourself and pulling yourself out of the goo and all of that stuff. So anyway, so when he's saying that this split is going to become bigger, but I don't see it, you know, the earth splitting in two and us going in different directions yet. It just, you know, I think the seam is going to become bigger. It's going to get worse, but it's to get people to see. And so there's going to be, you know, problems. You start with a pro, and then it has a test at the end throughout different places. But I think it's not going to be us going against each other so much. It will be people taking a stand on certain things, and not everybody will be included in those. But I think a lot of it is going to be going against the forces of control. And so it's going to be a lot of that, standing up for what we believe in and standing up for what's right against these forces of, you know, the governing controllers. So the split would be to show the problems more. So if October is going to really start showing, it's like the split. I don't think it's, you know, like if you hear people saying the split's about to happen, I don't think it's that split where everybody goes in different directions, because again, so many people aren't even awake yet. So how can they be held accountable for where they lie when they aren't even awake yet? That we haven't even had the big moment of the blast of awakening. We still have that to go. And then it seems like to me that we're going to have some things that are going to seem good. Like we're going to get changes in medical. We're going to get changes in the financing. And it seems like things will kind of be going better. But then it's going to be, to me, it always seems like, but we'll see, you know, it seems like it is the people who cannot face themselves, that they can't, and when they can't face themselves, they can't learn to love themselves. They can't let go of things. They hold on to things and they blame others and stuff like that. That's what holds them back. That is the thing that splits. And then another thing is relying on other people. Because, I mean, we got this whole huge group of people who are hung up on there being a savior. That is a huge amount. Like, how can you move forward if you are dependent on a savior? So there has to be a big urge to save yourself in there. And so that, it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me at this point of what's going on, that the earth would just suddenly split in two, and those people, it would really be hardly anybody that would go forward, because most people are stuck somewhere. Because even there's so many people, as they wake up and their spirit starts coming back on, that they just run to the only thing that they know, which is religion. Which religion is just another control factor. It's another way to keep you under the thumb of the governing forces. So, I mean, even it's edited by a king. I mean, it's all to control you. And, I mean, it's his version of the book put out to control you. He's not putting you out there to be independent and pull away from your government. So, and pull away from a savior. He's like, so, anyways, to me, there still is these awakening things that have to occur. These things to show this other side, which to me, that's why there's so much of this chaos, because they keep showing these other sides, showing more information. And so some of us who've been looking into stuff for a long time, it's like nice. Like I saw a video yesterday where somebody said, all the conspiracy theorists for 30 fucking years have all been right. Everything they've been saying was true. So people are starting to realize, like, that it wasn't theories that we've been talking about. It wasn't like maybes. It was like, oh, we looked into shit and we saw something that you guys weren't seeing, because you just believe what the news tells you. It's like, no, there is way more to this stuff. And these people who you trust are a bunch of fucking lying maniacs, man. They just soon see you dead. So anyways, I don't see how it can go to that length at this point. It still seems like there's events that have to occur. And so it still seems like we have to have some things that get people to really recognize that the church is a part of the whole thing, and to pull more into themselves, pull away from this savior person, and pull more into learning how to save themselves, which everything has to do with like this emotional aspect of yourself. And it's like the dark and the light battle inside of you. It's like your ego and your emotions and your intuition and everything has to come into alignment. And so all these challenges are to get you to focus on that, to get you to focus on these things so that you can fine tune yourself and get yourself so that you can evolve. And otherwise you're just a product of your environment. You're just stuck. So you have to be going towards these, you know, making changes in yourself, changing things. You know, sometimes it is getting uncomfortable, and so that you can kind of sit in that discomfort and ask yourself, why would I find this uncomfortable? It's just a situation, which I had been thinking about, because somebody was telling me about that they were doing something that was making them so uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, but why would it be making you uncomfortable? Maybe you just need to sit with your discomfort and allow yourself to be this other thing. Maybe it's you're holding on to something too tight. Maybe you need to go and try and understand yourself of why it is that this would be uncomfortable, because it's real comfortable to follow your patterns, to just do repeat, repeat, repeat. But it's very uncomfortable to do something different. And when you do something different, then and it feels uncomfortable, then it really, I think, is important for you to try and look at what it is, you know, like, oh, well, I have to have everything super spotless. It has to be clean. But it's like, why? Why can't you be comfortable if it's not? Maybe that's what you need to work on. Maybe it's you just need to work on, like, I can relax, I can have things. But I'm also somebody who's got to have things very, I like things picked up. If everything is like thrown around everywhere and there's stuff laying around everywhere, it makes me feel like on edge. It makes me feel like chaotic. So, I mean, we all have different degrees of things, but we all need to kind of just look and learn about ourselves. And then, you know, I mean, and sometimes maybe I just need to sit and and I do. The dogs pull out everything and pulling blankets off things and pulling toys out everywhere and there's shit everywhere. Then, you know, I can sit there for a few minutes. Be like, want to sit there. But if I get up, then I got to start putting things back where they go. And, but, yeah, you know, the whole thing is just trying to understand yourself. You don't have to be any certain way. There's no certain way that we need to be. We just need to be true to ourselves, and then also just see, you know, just ask yourself the questions, you know, like if something like, you know, comes up, and then, like, I know, to me, why it seems that I like things picked up is, it just, ever since I was a kid, and I started doing that when I was really little. My mom said when I was 2 years old, I used to get up and go make my bed. And so I, the only thing is like, when I was a kid, my home was more chaotic because my dad was, I mean, when you live with somebody who's drunk all the time, it's crazy. I mean, one minute they're happy, the next minute they're sad, the next minute they're mad, they're just all over the place. And I know that when I have things picked up around me, I feel less disorganized. I feel like everything feels more comfortable. And so I think when there's things everywhere, it makes me feel more tense. But I don't know. I mean, I can sit there and think of those things. But I don't know that, you know, I was going and cleaning my room because I thought I could handle my dad better or something. It wasn't like that. I just noticed that, you know, when I did grow up, but I came into this life a certain way too. So it probably has to do with other lives or whatever. But definitely I feel less tension when things are more organized around me. Things are, because my sister, she's way different than me. I mean, she'd come in like, you know, like even when we were sharing a room at my brother's, that, I mean, she'll just come in, take her suitcase, dump it over, just dump everything out, it's everywhere. And then she's always looking for stuff and everything. But to me, it's like, I've got to come out. I've got to set this here, set this there, have everything real organized. I can't have it just be like, just throw it down. So we're real different. Even when we were teenagers, my mom would ask me if I would go clean her room. I think she kind of asked my brothers too, because my brothers have talked about it too. But my sister, she didn't clean nothing. She just, it was the weirdest thing. It's weird when you have one kid who's so cleanly and one kid who's so messy. And and she was so messy, because I have opened her bedroom door looking for her, and I didn't see her, closed the bedroom door and said, I don't know where she is. And then a little while later, she gets up and she was on her bed sleeping. There was so much stuff around her and so much, like, she just crawls under this stuff. Like that, I could not. I couldn't handle it. I could not have that be my room. No fucking way. And then we would go clean it out for her. And it was always such a disaster. I can't even tell you. Like, oh my God. And you go clean it up for her. And then within a little while, it would be right back to the same. I don't know how you can live like that. Don't bother her. So don't bother her at all. So anyways, so we're all different, that's for sure. And but I definitely came into this life being more like, I need things to be organized, and I have no idea. Like, there's certain things about us, like, that you just don't know why you are this way and why you are that way. Like I was saying yesterday, like when you come in, you have certain fears, certain things you're good at, certain things you like. It's, you know, it's like your life journey. It's like your soul's journey. It's like these parts of you that have developed. Like when I see these little kids who are going in there and just playing instruments, and I've seen them all doing all different ones. I've seen them doing drums, guitars, piano, all these different things. There's this one freaking kid who, he is like this piano, I don't even know what it would be called, like a, I don't know. I'm sure he's probably been referred to as like a savant or something. But is a savant somebody who can't, like, I don't know. But anyways, he's very skilled. Like, and he can go in and play Beethoven, Mozart, all these different guys. And anyways, to me though, even he looks kind of like Beethoven or something. To me, he's somebody like that. He's somebody who was a very skilled pianist like a long time ago. And now he's reborn, and then he just goes in and starts playing the piano and is like, oh, I can do this. And it's real easy for him to learn because it's a remembering, because it's in his code. So your lives, who you are in different lives, goes with you, doesn't leave you. It becomes a part of your coding. So when I see these kids that are really good painters, all these things, it's like, they've had these from other lives, or they've had these skills, and now they're redoing them because they become interest to them, and so they are good at it because they've already learned it. Some of them have probably been like famous painters and stuff, and then they sit down and start painting. It's like, dang, man, this kid's good. And then people like think it's like some sort of miracle or something. It's like, no, I think you just got to look at this person deeper. That they are, no little kid is just a little kid. They're all old souls. Everybody's been born a bunch of times. Lots and lots of times. I think way more times than you could even imagine. So, yeah, I mean, you could take probably like the windows of time, like I said, these windows of time that I said, where everything is just, that experience is like a window of time. It's like, I don't know, I always see it like an airplane or something with windows in each window, or a building, and each window is a certain time. That's weird too, because like, yeah, a building with the windows, it kind of also matches like that honeycomb kind of thing, because it is kind of like this honeycomb. And so, and on the micro macro. So, because on the experiences of living experience, so life experiences of realities of different times, to be able to live and exist. You could have been in like a certain window, like say the Middle Ages, and you could have been born a few times in the Middle Ages. You could have come in and been, you know, a mom in the Middle Ages. You could have come in and been a dad. You could have come in and been somebody who didn't have kids. You could have come in and been an officer. You could have come in and been a peasant. You know, you could go in and play a whole bunch of different roles in one period of time. Doesn't just mean like you were born one time in that period and that was it. No, you could have been, it depends on what it is that you were learning from it, and what all aspects or perspectives that you needed to include into that lesson. So one period of time, so one window of time, you could have been born multiple times in that period of time. So, you know, or people think like, oh, I think I was born at this one time. I think I was born at this one time. But no, you may not remember every single thing. It depends, to me, it seems that it depends on what you're here to work on, what you're here to remember. So certain things stand out. Because if everything stood out, it would be too much. It would be way too much to process. It would be like somebody, yeah, like I see it like a lawyer going and taking a case on, like especially like where a lawyer will try and take on a corporation. And the corporation will send over like 150 boxes of information, of files and shit, to drown them in the information. And so it's kind of like that. Like if you could remember all of them, you would be drowning in information. So your soul kind of picks out, and it has to do with what it is you're rounding out, what it is that you're completing in your lesson plan, the things that you need to remember, the things that you have not cleaned up in other lives. And so this is like an opportunity to clean it up. But that's what I'm saying. When you have so many people who aren't even awake yet, they haven't even started that process of cleaning up, you know, cleaning out the cobwebs and stuff. But that's the thing, is like you don't remember them all, because it would be like you would have boxes and boxes and boxes of files to go through, and that would just be time consuming. When your soul is a lot more efficient, the universe is a lot more efficient, so you have certain things that you will remember, that it is stuff that you are here to work on presently. So so anyways, that still to me has to go down. And that to me is like when the seam rips and really shows the what's underneath. And so the it's weird because some of the visuals and stuff, because it's like you see a ripping in the sky of a whole new reality outside, and seeing the truth outside of the rip, where we think that the sky is it, but then the sky ripping open and there's a whole nother reality that we can look up and see. And that's kind of like this whole thing of like the seam ripping, the dam breaking, it opening up this whole other visual to all these people, so that they see beyond what they've seen. And that is leads them to the truth. It leads them to having to process out of where they've been, where it's like the world they created for themselves. They got to reprocess. And so that's what we kind of are in. That's what I would say, if the big split were to happen in October, that would be the split that we would be talking about, would be the splitting of one reality to see a second reality behind it, because that's where you have to bring in your balance. You have to try and put it all together for yourself. So that would be the awakening. And that would be like, you have all these other people who have been awakening slowly, but then you have these other ones that have been resisting. But then the universe is going to force it by this elaborate scheme, this thing that's going to happen, so that then you have no choice but to see beyond the illusion. And then that is when things kind of fall apart for a lot of people, because that's when you truly have to face yourself. And there's going to be resistance, because it's hard. It's very difficult to face yourself. And anybody who's done it knows that, and it knows that it's not like you do it one day and it's all over with. No, it's like choosing a new path for yourself and having to sweep away all the debris. And so it's a whole new journey that you have to choose to go on. And you have to be willing to put aside your weapons and your shields. And you have to be open to seeing beyond division, so that you can find the unity that we all seek. But they create so much division. You think you can't have unity with all of the people around you, because you think the things that you divide on are important. But that's why the universe is going to show, like, you're dividing on things that aren't even real. And so the people who can get over that will pull in to create unity, but at the same time, they've got to be seeking their authentic selves. They've got to be trying to figure out who they are and how they got to where they are, and all of that stuff. So that's where there's going to be a lot of tension to me. There's going to be a lot of And then there's going to be a lot of people when the truth starts coming out, like I've said for years, I think one of the big tensions is going to be medical. And it's not going to be like, oh, look, we can all be healed. It's going to be like, you mean you killed my kid? And now, you mean you killed my husband? You killed my wife? You killed my mom? You killed my dad? There's going to be so much of that people are going to lose it over that. And that's where I think there's going to be a lot of tension in certain things. To me, the civil, if there becomes like a civil WAR in different places, it's almost going to be like the people going against the sellouts, kind of. Which Harry, the one who talks about that letter, he keeps on bringing up these certain names, saying, "Oh no, they're a good guy. They're a good guy." I really have a hard time believing some of these people are a good guy. I even heard that he even has said Tom is a good guy. It's like, I believe Tom has been gone for a long time. This other fella that pretends to be him, it is not him. It's his brother, or it's some guy in a mask or something. I don't believe it's him. And I don't believe. But now there's some Rothschild or Rockefeller guy that looks exactly like Cappy. It's like, but I don't know that the real Cappy is gone either. I don't believe Haish is gone. There's a lot of people I don't think are gone, but there's some people who I do think are gone. I do think Hillary. I think Barack. I think Tom. There's a lot of these people who I think are gone. Joe. Like, there's a lot. So, anyways, that is, but him saying, you know, like a lot of these certain actors have just been playing a part. But De Niro and stuff, I said that too in the thing. I said, so you're saying, if you're saying are you saying Tom's a good guy? You're saying like these other ones? And I saw other people in the comments doing the same thing. It's like there's a lot of us that are like, I don't know. I've seen evidence where, you know, like even then sitting there saying, oh no, Oprah's one of the good guys. It's like, that was a stretch for me. So I still don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's one thing though, is like all of those things just keep making me push away from judgment, to be like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. I can't just lock in to any of these different things, because that's the part that is going to hurt when it pulls free, because that is, we need to be pulling away from judgment. Like, we don't know what we don't know, and for us to pretend like we know something that we don't know, especially in a world full of lies. So, you know, you just got to be open to what comes. So, I don't know, if all of a sudden they're sitting there saying, oh, De Niro, he's a great guy, Oprah, she's great, and stuff. It's like, well, they sure did play the bad guy good. So, I don't know. We'll see. But those would be, you know, because like there's going to be all sorts of things. Just because some of us have been awake for a long time, there's not going to be like new things that we're going to have to process. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of things to process, because like we've all been sure who we know the bad guys are and who the good guys are and stuff. And it's all like, it's like the dice being shook in the little thing. It's just going all over the place. You don't know what numbers are going to come out. It's just, oh, no telling what's going to happen. So, you know, we're going to roll sevens. I don't know. So we'll see. We're going to roll snake eyes. We've already got the snake eyes out. So anyways, yeah, but them sitting there saying like that Charlie's not even a real character. When did he come around? Like, and they do make fake backgrounds on people. So, I don't know. There's so much weird shit in this world. This world is just created to trick everybody, or whoever they can trick. And then whoever they're not tricking is to weed it through, find them and discard them. And so, anyways, but when they're sitting there saying the split's about to go down, I don't think that anybody needs to be stressing out and being like, oh great, I'm got this going, because it's easy through all this stuff to find days where you're just like, this is some fucking bullshit, man. Fuck. So, because that's, a lot of people, like, this is fucking bullshit. There's a lot of fucking bullshit going on. And if you pretend like it's not, then are you being real? So, and that would be like, well, then that we would all be in negative. We would all be going to the negative. So it's like, to me, the split's going to keep going. It's going to give confirmation to some people so that you can be like, oh, okay, And then the relief of the stress, like rubber band's been pulled so tight and they'll let it relieve, like we're pulled to our wits' end. So letting go and letting it pop back. So those of us who have been along this ride from one perspective, we've been pulled and pulled and pulled. And then when it lets go, it's going to feel like a relief to us. And then to the others, it's going to feel horrible. Like they're going to see things that they hadn't seen. And so that's going to be, to me, the flipping. Because the tension, when you can see and it keeps going and going and going, but the people who don't see it, they're the ones who keep pulling it. And so once this, that to me is this split, is this seeing the truth, seeing everything coming out. And then but then we have the whole part of the redesigning of self, like figuring yourself out. Like, I don't know, it seems like to me there has to be a huge wave that end up leaving the church. And to me, there has been so much information coming out to show the nonsense. Like yesterday there was 3 of those things. The one at the bar restaurant thing on the water, there was one at a church. What was because I think the church was the LDS. I think they blew it up or something. There's a huge fire. But it seems that there was another one too. I don't know. I mean, I know there was another one. I was thinking it was in Flint, Michigan. It was a church. Which, if you didn't know this, which I learned it from Bill Maher, is there is a gen going on in Nigeria of the people who are on the Bible. So the ones that follow Christ, the Christian, that they are gin in them. And it's worse than the strip. So, and they don't talk about it on the news, but they are, wiping those people out because they go to those churches. So, and it's the other, is with the lamb at the end. Those ones, I guess, are the ones that are doing it. So it's always this religious war that's been going on in the Middle East for a long fucking time. And so, which I don't know, I think that Africa's on the edge of the Middle East, but I don't know if it's considered part of the Middle East. But the wars have been going on all over there since I was a kid, and always over religion. Like, this one hates this one's gonna kill this one. It just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all the time. And which now, we've gotten to this point of seeing like it's all created. Like they create all this shit. Like they create, I don't know, I mean, how many religions are created just to create division? Or how many of them are ones that the colonies brought in with them to this place because they brought in the philosophies of their lands and their belief system, and then it created a religion which only created division with the other ones because everybody thinks they're right. But in some of these places back in the primitive times, there were different beings going to be considered gods and stuff like that because they were more advanced. And then those ones that were more egotistical allowed themselves to be gods. Other ones tried to tell them, like, I'm no god, I'm just an advanced being. But that's the whole thing where it starts getting down to like the Anunnaki, the Pleiadian, the Blue Avian, like the ones way back. And so there's a lot more to our history, a lot more interesting shit to our history too than what they want us to believe. They want it to all be just like, oh, we're on a ball spinning out around. The water's not, it's like it's, but we got gravity that's holding the water on somehow. So, anyways, it's all just fucking nonsense. But now we got this giant ass 12,000 mile or 12,000 acre, whatever the hell it is, big thing coming at us that's saying it's going to fight us. Something coming behind it. Like it's all this absurd shit, I swear to God. And then, oh yeah, and Kim, the guy who got or Kin, K-I-N, I think is his name, Kin Panama, he supposedly got the meteorite, and then it started growing, and now and then he took clippings, he sent them out, but the clippings are growing. He had clippings and they started growing. Then the thing got so big that he went and set it free, but then it kept pulling him back. Now he got sick and ended up in the hospital, but now he says, oh no, it was just a flu. Which, how do we know it's not some kind of alien sickness or something, coming in on this meteorite or whatever? Because that's what they've had in these scary movies forever. These things coming on from out there. So, and then they grow, and then they take over like the Blob and stuff. And they've done it in so many movies, so many. This goo lands, and then starts getting in our water and infects that, and then people start becoming infested with, well, I think the big thing is some kind of a pee, and so that's like take over people's minds, which it kind of makes it seem like that's what's going on with Kin. Now it had a thing of him sitting there in a recliner. Now he's out of the hospital, and he has a big fish tank. So either he's now got one of the little cuttings growing and it's become something else, because supposedly he went and set this other one free, which then the government stepped up and said, no, he didn't. There's nothing out there. Which the government would just watch it. They would just go get it themselves. But now he's sitting in a recliner. The fish tank is empty. No, it has 2 big fish in it, so it doesn't eat fish. And he's sitting in a recliner, letting it climb all over his arm. But he had said, and I don't follow all his videos, I just see people talking about his videos all the time. But he had said that it did seem to have some type of mind control over him. So I don't know. Like if he sat there and got some kind of pee off of it and it went inside, because they show that all the time, that's how they invade into us, and then they take us over. And so then, and you do change, you become different, and you do just worry about taking care of them. So I don't know. I have no idea if it's just all a big part of the show, if this is really happening and it just goes along with everything else out. I have no idea. It's just that because you have lots of people trying to say, no, it's fake. And then you have other people like, no way, that's real. Which it seems like when you're watching, it seems like this is real. Like it's weird. And then there's other people in Panama saying, no, he's just a regular guy. This is really happening. So I have no idea. I mean, this whole world is set up to just trick us all the time. But I do know that some of this stuff is real. And so we have to just, I mean, there is other life forms, and they can take you over. And it's all about survival. But look at what we've done to survive. We go out and we'll kill anything. We don't care. And so that's been a part of our issue, is why humanity has to have this big evolution, why we can't be in the higher vibration, because in the higher vibration you can't be warring. That keeps you trapped in the lower vibration when they want to just keep that hierarchy defense mechanism inside of us to keep us in this lower vibration of warring. But the light inside our souls doesn't want that, but they've got a lot of people in that But anyways, that's the low vibration. That's the low vibration that they stay in. But we, for the most part, I think most of us want to pull back to where we're comfortable, which is the light, which in the light, we are all one. We all are together because we don't judge one another. We accept one another. And so there's a energy of union where we are not combative towards each other. That's one thing, is like why it feels so uncomfortable right now with all the chaos and stuff, because our energies are pushing back on one another. The advancement is when we find peace in ourselves, then our energies are at peace. And when we're around each other, there's peace. And when we go into that kind of arena or that kind of vibration, then we have an extra communication, because we can like read one another's thoughts. It's like we connect our energies into a point of peace and unity, and then we are able to communicate with one another. And so, but that's also why they want to keep us in division, and they want to create a language so that we can use this language, which we all perceive in different ways. So there's miscommunication all the time, but then they keep us more in that sense of division, rather than us coming into a place of peace and connection where we do all communicate by being at peace and in love with one another and feeling compassion and caring and stuff. So, but that's the part where they want to keep people trapped back in the division and dark and hatefulness and stuff, where some people are going to have a really hard time moving out of that. And even the people who are going to do themselves in, then, which I don't know whatever happened about all that rapture thing. All those people just kind of disappeared. Like they're not being on there saying, damn it, I didn't get raptured. And they had all given away their stuff. So I don't know if they're in the midst of turmoil. I don't know if they did do themselves in. I have no idea. And there's people who are out there like looking for them, and maybe they're just not on my algorithm, because whatever's been going on, my algorithm keeps changing weird. Like yesterday, it was just, oh my God, dog after dog after dog after dog. It's fucking heartbreaking. Now somebody showed that they were in there trying to argue, because Polk County, Harris County, there's some counties that are bad, super, super bad. And people are trying to go before the city councils. So there's a video of them being before the city council in Polk, and they're like, hey, there's nothing we can do about it. They're on their own, and the sheriff's in charge of animal control here, and he gets to decide. It's like, they don't give a shit. This guy can just fucking mass murder, take the grant money, and go on vacation. He don't give a fuck. And then just sell the bodies over there and make extra money. It's like, and they're doing just as bad with the cats. Cats, kittens, they don't care. It's all food to them. It all just goes over there to the food manufacturer shipping out food, and which, don't get me wrong. I mean, some of it does go over to like certain places where they just, bad news for you if you're a dog over there or cat. But also, it does go around here. Like, people are in America eating stuff that they are not going to be happy to find out that they're eating. It's going to be, the homeless guy down the street. It's going to be, these dogs, cats. I'm sure there's rats, everything in there. So, yeah, because isn't that weird? Like, certain places are overrun with those kinds of things. Seems like real quick, easy food to grab up. But I don't know. Grabbing up dogs and cats, I don't know. This place, especially because those are all souls. Everything is a soul. Everything is an experience. Everything is an energy having an experience. And I know, some of them come in and play these parts so that this stuff can play out. It's just still sad as fuck. So sad. They all have these sad eyes. They're all just sitting there waiting in cages for their last moments. It's like, God, it's just, I don't know, such an evilness. There's such a, that's the part where we got to start, having compassion for other beings and other life forms and just life in general. It's like we can't sit there and think like if something's alive, then we have the right to take its life. It's like that's not higher vibration. That's all I know. So I just the kind of shit that keeps you down in the low vibration. And so I don't know, like sheriff in Polk County, what he's got going. In these city councils that just turn a blind eye and just like whatever. It's like, well, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, what the hell are you doing? We're just paying you. This is just your access so you can get rich off the system. Like, that's fucking bullshit, man. That's why this is the whole thing of being exposed. Why our whole system is going to change. There's no fucking way we're going to keep this shit up. We're not going to keep paying all these senators, city councils, these fucking governors and all this bullshit. We're going to go into smaller arenas, and the locals are going to be the ones who are going to be in charge of it. So it's going to be smaller realities, smaller towns. And I don't know what's going to happen with all of these cities. There's a lot of big cities being built up. But I don't know. Seems like some of these big cities are going to be gone. I don't know. Maybe, people will want to live in some of those, but we won't be fighting for jobs anymore. But there's going to be such a huge movement towards independence, not living off the corporation, not living off their food, because like you're living in high rises in a concrete jungle, then who's growing the food? Where are you getting your food and your resources? Then you're still dependent on this system of them getting the water and cleaning it over and over and using the same fucking nasty ass water for everything, and then them bringing in the food and then them deciding the prices of it. So I don't know, it just seems like more and more is going to just go on and push us out of the cities. More and more threats in the city, more and more hardships, and it's just going to keep pushing us. Maybe some of these really fantastical cities like are going to be ending up going underwater. I don't know. Maybe it is that, we're going to just all start taking food pills, where it's just like you just take all your nutrition. You don't need to eat anymore. And that's where we're going to go. And maybe we're going to start accessing water like out of the sky. And we're not going to use their same nasty ass water. And we will be able to live in these cities and stuff. I don't know. But I know that it's not going to be these big government over us anymore. That's all going to fall apart with all this stuff. And it's going to show, they're a bunch of weirdo pervs anyways. Once they get into it, they're not there for us. They're there for self-gain. They're there to get rich and hide their own weirdo perviness, their own fetishes and stuff. And so anyways, but when they're saying that the split is about to go, that's what I would say is it's just the split to show the truth. It's so people have to see more so that they can begin to reevaluate what life is about. And then we're going to go where there will be, to me, it seems like some good things are going to happen with medical and the money and stuff. So there'll be some good things. But the more that people have to indulge in faith, then they are going to, it's going to bring up a lot of tension, which is going to build a lot of tension. But to me, the battle seems to be with the system and the people who have kept the system going, like Jimmy, watch out, dude. Don't let people know where you live, because you're going to probably at some point your house will be surrounded, because people are going to be like, that motherfucker was lying to me the whole fucking time. And people are going to get pissed and they're going to blame, they're not going to be like, well, what was my weakness, why I was listening? No, they're going to go blame the guy who was doing it. And so there's going to be doctors that'll be hunted out. There's going to be all sorts of stuff to me that seems like where when they said, they won't be able to walk in the streets, I think that's what they're talking about. That's where the anger is going to go towards the people that were maintaining the system and tricking people and stuff. So that's where the tension will go. And through all of this stuff, the people growing, the people healing, and the tension and stuff, that to me is us becoming right with ourselves is what blows everything apart. And I don't know. I mean, there's lots of people who say, most of the people are going to still be locked in to the negative. But just remember, no matter how it plays out, that just because you're in the negative when it goes down doesn't mean that's where you have to stay. You'll be able to move yourself out of there, and the universe is on your side. So your next life would be to help you move in the direction that you want to go, and you want to go towards the light. It's always going to be helping you get there. So, and going towards the light is where you find like the easy lives, ones where everybody loves everybody, everybody's connected, everything's good and sweet and cool, and there's not problems. You just get to experience what it is to be alive and get to enjoy life, and not all this bullshit and tension. But you have to cleanse the tension out of you before you can go there. That world can't clean it out of you. You have to clean it out of you to get into that world. And that's what this long process has all been about. And that's why all the distraction to keep people from doing the process. And that's why they block people like me who are out there trying to tell people, because they don't want people to be going in that direction. They want to keep you trapped in the dark. So they don't want people like me to be able to be heard, because I'll be telling you, you got to do this shit. This is what you got to focus on. This is what you got to get real with yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You got to witness and understand that they are trying to poison you, and you have to take matters into your own hands. And the way to go is natural, because you're organic and nature's organic, and everything they're doing is like chemicals, and that doesn't go as well. Like, chemicals and organic don't go so well together. So and that's where you got to make better life choices, and you got to open your mind to things. You got to listen to more people. You got to connect. You got to learn how to have compassion and caring for other people. And so, anyways, but that's what they don't want people to do. They want people to stay in division. They want people to stay mad. They want people to stay angry. They want people to stay scared. So they've got one fucking thing after another. Like the whole thing with the generals even could just be a big old psyop to just get us to be like, oh shit, what's about to happen? What's about to happen? Which, you can sit there and think, what's about to happen? But don't get all like freaked about it, because it's a part of the show. It's part of what you're here for. You're here for whatever it is that's going to happen. You knew before you came here. It may seem like, well, I don't remember this. I don't remember knowing this. But you've lived a million lives. You can't remember those either. Like, you have the ability to turn things off so that you get to experience what it is in real time. So if you knew ahead, that's why there's so many things. Like, even when you hear all these psychics, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. But what I have found is that you don't get to know all the details, because you are here to experience it. And so you won't know every little detail of things. You can see it like in a general sense of things. You can see like a general energy of like, oh, it's going to get bad there. Oh, it's going to get a little better. It's going to get bad. You can see that. You can see like when you look at it like, oh, there's a lot of people are not, ooh, that's not good. And you can see that, but you can't see the details. You can have like a sense of things. But anyways, we've still got way more things to play out. But yeah, I don't think that we're going to the new earth this month in October. I'm still hoping that we get this crash, this economic thing go down by today or tomorrow. And then that, if that starts showing more holes in the government starts going down, because now all the people think, that they fucked us with the money thing. But then there's going to be this other system that's going to come in from the back end. It's going to take us in a new direction, but people are going to be really hesitant because they have been told that they're going to do it and take us in a worse direction. But really, the other side has been preparing a better direction and been taking down the ones that are trying to take us in a bad direction. But they don't see that. They think that this dick is the tater who is going to do all the things that they've been told is going to happen. And so that's the what moment What are you talking about? How can that be? So that's when you see things that you hadn't seen before. So anyways, but hopefully that is what we're, the split in the seam is about to really split big, where you see everything underneath here coming up in October, I hope. So, and it would all go kind of together. And then there, I mean, this atlas, they say it's supposed to be in November, but then people say, no, it's coming faster, and all sorts of stuff. And then people who are watching this radar stuff saying, oh, there's all sorts of ships coming in. There's fleets coming in. There's this coming in. There's that coming in. So there's no telling. There's no telling. All I know is that you need to recognize it as it's a movie. Like, it's not there to hurt you. Nothing can hurt you. You are eternal. And you leave this scene, you leave the show, you just go into a different one. You leave one game, you go into a different game. And then sometimes you go into the cool-off station. So you go in and you cool off from the last game, and you prepare yourself for the next game. And but you can always go home. I think that, though, a lot of it is when you're in the game, that you are in game mode. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna get this done. I don't think that we go through one and then we're just like whine and cry and we run home. It's like when you come out of the game, you suddenly see it for what it is, and you don't feel the same tension as when you're in the game. So when you're out of it, immediately you're like, oh, that was no big deal. So, and you see, it's like you go home, you see all these people who you hadn't seen, and you have a sense of peace, you have a sense of connection. But, a lot of people don't want to just stay there. They want to get back in there and experience. So, anyways, that's how I see it. So, whatever's going to go down, just keep finding peace with it. Don't let them distract you and freak you out and scare you. Even if they come in with ships flying over our houses, lasering us, if that's your exit, then, take stage left and go to either the cool-off period or go sit on the sidelines and help others or whatever it is. Just don't. There's nothing to worry about. It's like, and it is, it is a lot because, we all have loved ones, and loss is hard, but, that's a part of our learning. So whatever losses we go throughout this next part is, it's to help us, So, and you just remember, anybody or anything that you lose, the beings, the people and stuff that you lose, you always meet back up with them. And that's, so it's not really a loss, but it feels like a loss. But if it didn't feel like a loss, you wouldn't learn from it. So that's what your feelings are there to help you. They're here to help you learn and grow. But you also have to take responsibility. You can't blame everybody else. Otherwise, then you're not getting the benefit. So, anyways, I'm on repeat. So, let's look at this business. I swear to God, I still see all these girls. It's like, it's pulling out this hair like, oh, I got this in a week. It's like, are you shitting me? I've gotten this in 2 months. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And my eye thing is like fucking hellacious. It just keeps, ever since I got sick, it's just been really having these weird like eruptions. So it's like crazy. I put some more horse paste on it yesterday and I'm loading it with the aloe vera. But kind of freaks me out because I think it's one of the housewives of Orange County or something. I'm not sure who she is, but I think she's a housewife. Her name's Brandy Granville. And I think, all of them have got so much, like my daughter who has been watching that show for like 30 years or something, she said that it even shows them. They're constantly going to plastic surgery. They're constantly going in and getting an inject. It's just nonstop. And they probably get it for free if they put it on the show. So they're just loading down all the time. So I don't know. I would think it's something that she got put in there. but it has a parasite or something. She said there's parasites in her face that are eating her face, and there's pus bubbles and stuff. And she said the pus is going into her mouth, and she's being eaten alive by these things. And I'm like, dude, I would fucking wash my face with some horse paste. Like, I don't know what the doctors are doing for her, but yeah, I would be going towards the natural stuff, because they're not doing something good for her. And I guess her face is becoming real, like, morphine. And yesterday or the day before, the girl who went to Turkey, she's got a big old infection right now too. Oh my God. And she was on doing a video. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for that chick. Oh my God, her nose. It is like her nose is collapsed, and these holes in the nose have become ginormous. And it's just like her face is melting, like the search for beauty, the extremes that people go to for beauty is backfiring. So, really watch out. Really, I mean, this little botulism creature right here in my eye is enough of a bitch ass to me. But when I'm about brandy and all that stuff, it's like, oh, fuck. It's right. Oh, shit. So, yeah, I'm going to trying to keep this little bitch. I'm doing everything I can to get rid of it. But, man, it's a motherfucker, I'll tell you. And that's another reason, like, get us goddamn med beds, man. Get us some fucking help. Like, we're fighting monsters as it is. We're fighting all these peas and this bees and all these monsters on our faces and shit. So, anyways, I hope and her infection is all, because she went and got all her teeth pulled and put all implants. It's like, oh, your teeth were better. Just natural teeth were better than going and getting this shit. And now she's got this mass infection that is just blown up all over in her face. Her nose is collapsed. She's got, and I think she's got pus. Just, oh my God. You're better off just getting those bitches yanked out and then getting dentures or something. Just go with no teeth for a while. Let your mouth heal. And I don't even know what can be done with their nose. I saw a plastic surgeon saying, like, I don't know, nose transplant. It's like, it's fucking collapsed, man. And it's crooked, and then these big black holes. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't even like to get this stuff in my vision. It's just like, oh. So, anyways, but it's mind, body, spirit, man. And everything you got to do is focusing on your health. And they're out to take ours. We've got to fight back and really take care of ourselves. And so, and it's a battle, because they even trick, and they put out things and say they're good for you. And I don't know that they are. Even those fucking Korean skincare wipes. It's like, I swear to God, I think they're giving me more problems on my skin. I don't know if it's like really drying my skin out and making more lines. I don't know. As I've been taking this collagen powder too. Yeah, I don't remember even if I said that, but I had two, it's like it lasts 25 days, and I got the Dr. Berg's. I think I talked about it a while ago. And so I would be getting the third one, I think, coming up in a couple weeks or something. So I've gone through 2 of them. And which my joints have stopped popping and stuff, so it has helped my joints. It's supposed to also help hair, nails, but my nails are all broken a little bit. They're freaking dirty too. But they are not. My eyelashes barely, and my hair still like friggin' 5 months, and this is what we got going. It's like, Jesus. So, anyways, but you still got to go in this direction, and then you still got to be like, well, I'm not sure, don't just believe that this one product is working if it doesn't seem like it's working. The thing with the collagen is like my joints do seem better. So anyways, I don't know, we're all on our own journey, And you gotta just try different things out. Like, we go to doctors and we say, tell us what to try. And we try whatever they say. Well, it's like you got to do your own research and figure out, like, what your problems are and what things can help. And then you got to try a little of this, try a little of that. You got to try this brand, that brand, because it's all just nonsense, everything. It was fucking just like bullshit nonsense. Just get goddamn med beds. That's what I want. Because those are vibration. You go in and it really does do something. It really does make a difference. And so, anyways, we'll see. And don't forget, too, is when I went to that one and stayed overnight after Stella had the stroke or whatever it was that happened, that and she couldn't walk and stuff, and we got into that one. Look at how much she has healed just from that one time. And then I've stayed on top of the detoxing and stuff, because that's one thing when I went to the energy enhancement place, that you have to detox before you go into those vibration things. And that's why I think some people won't just be able to go right into them, because you got to detox, you got to get yourself in your right mind. So but I mean, she's still sitting here going. It's like, I don't know, it's been like 4 years now. And in that, and I didn't know, I thought I was going to have her. I mean, she couldn't get up. So anyways, we've come a long ways, but you do have to be the one who's trying to figure it all out. So anyways, we'll talk about it more tomorrow, and we'll see what today brings us. And I am going to go out and try and use my card, so I'll see how that works out, because I'm always hoping, like, oh, please, let this be the crash, please. I swear to God, it's like every few weeks, it's like, please, please, oh God. So anyways, we'll see what it brings us. But until then, I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong focusing on yourself, because that's the big distraction. That's what they don't want you to focus on, because they know that's going to lead you in the right direction. So focusing on yourself, learning to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and how to have the day you want to have is the direction to go, I'm telling you. So anyways, but you do you, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.